Hi everyone, Petrik here. So for today's video, I'll be talking about all the noteworthy release that I want to spotlight in the month of September. So yeah, I have about 8 books to spotlight today, and I think the topic of today's video, it can be summarized as pretty much Dragon Rider or Dragon fantasy books, because we have 4 books, all of them having something to do with Dragon Rider or dragons. And I will start with the first one immediately being released on the 1st of September. So this one is out now, and this is the 3rd book in the Time of Dragon series by Philip C. Quaintrell. So yeah, this one is a prequel series to the Echo Saga by Philip C. Quaintrell as well. I have read only the 9 books epic fantasy Echo Saga series, but I haven't read A Time of Dragons yet. So this one takes place thousands of years before the events of the Echo Saga, and I heard it's even better compared to the Echo Saga, which is very promising to me. So I just don't have the time to get around to this one yet, but this is definitely on my list of epic fantasy books to read as soon as I can. But yeah, this book, the 3rd book, I believe out of 5, is out now. So yeah, if you have read the previous 2 books, make sure to get around to this one. And then on the 2nd of September, we have Wild Reverence by Rebecca Ross. Now, Rebecca Ross, especially her books on the Divine Rivals or the Letters of Enchantment series, is incredibly popular and highly rated, especially the first book in that duology. So Wild Reverence, I believe, is a prequel standalone title to that duology. Again, I could be wrong on this. I haven't read Divine Rivals yet, but for those of you who have read Wild Reverence and also the Letters of Enchantment, let me know whether whether it is possible to read Wild Reverence without reading the Letters of Enchantment duology or not. But for those of you who want to know what the premise is, this is the premise of Wild Reverence. True love is more divine than any ruthless god. Born in the fiery domain of the Underrealm, Matilda is the youngest goddess of her clan, blessed with humble messenger magic. But in a land where gods often kill each other to steal power and alliance break as quickly as they are forged, Matilda must come of age sooner than most. She may be known to carry words and letters through the realms, but she holds a secret she must hide from even her dearest of allies to ensure her survival. And to complicate matters, there is a mortal boy who dreams of her, despite the fact they have never met in the waking world. 10 years ago, Vincent of Beckett wrote to Matilda on the darkest night of his life, begging the goddess he befriended in dreams to help him. When his request went unanswered, Vincent moved on, becoming the hardened, irreverent Lord of the River who has long forgotten Matilda. That is, until she comes tumbling into his bedroom window with a letter for him. As fate would have it, Matilda and Vincent were destined to find each other beyond dreams. There may be a chance for Matilda to rewrite the blood-soaked way of the gods, but at immense sacrifice. She will have to face something she fears even more than losing her magic, to be vulnerable and to allow herself to finally be loved. So I believe there is definitely romance to this, I think, epic fantasy story as well. But I'm not sure whether this is actually romantasy or not. I know that people have mentioned that the Divine Rivals or the Letters of Enchantment is not a romantasy series. So yeah. But moving on to the 15th of September, we are back to Dragon Rider epic fantasy because we have the release of Reckoning by Michael R. Miller. So this is the 4th book in the Song of Chaos series. I have read Ascendant and Unbound, which is the first 2 books in the series, and I really enjoyed both of them, especially the first one, Ascendant. I think it is a great start to a progression epic fantasy, epic Dragon Rider fantasy series. Unbound, I felt a bit more lukewarm, but still enjoyable enough. But I still haven't read the 3rd book, I think, Defiant, and of course I haven't read Reckoning yet. The cover done by Randy Vargas is so bloody here, and I really like it. I hope to get around to this one as soon as possible as well. I think there's only 1 book left to this series. Yeah, this book is slated to be 5 books long, just like A Time of Dragon series by Philip C. Quaintrell. And then the next day, on the 16th of September, we have not a Dragon Rider, I think, but definitely dragon-based epic fantasy. This is Among the Burning Flowers by Samantha, Shannon. So yeah, this is another book in the Roots of Chaos series. So this takes place after A Day of Fallen Night, but before Priory of the Orange Tree. And this one is the shortest of the available 3 books in the Roots of Chaos series. But the cover art is once again illustrated by Ivan Belikov, but there is one additional, very, very big additional side to this book. I believe this is available in all edition of Among the Burning Flowers. So all edition will features interior illustrations by the absolutely incredible Rowena Kai. And yeah, this is exciting for me. I'm a huge fan of Rowena Kai's illustrations, and hopefully I'll get to work with her someday. But anyway, yeah, all these illustrations, interior illustrations, black and white by Rowena Kai, will be available in all editions of the novel. But yeah, I'm looking forward to reading this one. As well, I know that all three books have been pitched as standalone titles, but they are related to one another. So I think I will be following either publication order or maybe chronological order by starting from A Day of Fallen Night and then diving into Among the Burning Flowers. And then on the 23rd of September, this is a re-release. So this is for This Inevitable Ruin by Matt Dinniman, the 7th book in the Dungeon Crawler Carl series. So this one is getting the traditional publishing hardcover edition on the 23rd of September. And yeah, I think many people call this one to be the best of the entire series. And yeah, I know I have wanted to read Dungeon Crawler Carl, I don't know, since last year. And I mentioned in my TBR, this is why I don't make TBR videos for the foreseeable future. I mentioned in my TBR 2 times now that I will be reading Dungeon Crawler Carl, and I still haven't got around to it yet. Hopefully I can read it as soon as I can. It depends on my schedule and also my reading mood. And yeah, the 7th book, for those of you who are waiting for the hardcover edition of the traditional published edition, well, it is going to be available this month. And then moving on to the final date, which is the 30th of September, the last day of September, well, we have 3 books to spotlight on this day. First, we have another Dragon Rider epic fantasy, and this is the first book of a series, Children of the Gods by S.A. Klopfenstein. So this is the first book in the Age of Fire series, and this is another sub-published fantasy novel, just like A Time of Dragons and also Reckoning. And yeah, I look forward to reading this one. I think S.A. Klopfenstein, his books, the Shadow Watch trilogy, has been highly praised for YA fantasy readers, and I certainly look forward to reading his take on a Dragon Rider, on an epic adult Dragon Rider epic fantasy series. And yeah, this is the premise of the book. May the world be brighter for our burning. At the edge of a war-torn world ruled by the Attican Empire and their fearsome dragon mounts, the fate of nations falls upon a few individual destinies: a shaman, a huntress, a soldier, and a rebel spy. The Faltari people are special, gifted by the gods with abilities beyond mortal man. Yet they have chosen a life of peace and seclusion. As Malik comes of age, he longs for more than the life of a village shaman, more than the future that stands before him on the Isle of Faltara. His best friend, Reese, is torn between the life of duty and the destiny that lingers in the back of her mind. But there are secrets on their island, secrets that have sustained their people over the centuries. And when the truth comes to light, Malik and Reese must reckon with their people's shrouded past and the destiny that will demand more of them than they ever imagined. Across the world, Urla has sacrificed everything for the expansion of the Attican Empire, but a secret mission to the mysterious Isle of Faltara will force her to confront the brutal truth about the nation she serves. And born in the wake of a failed uprising, Ava has grown up in the shadow of her people's conquerors, but the key to the Empire's power may finally be within her grasp. If she can uncover the source of the Empire's dragons, her parents' rebellion might finally stand a chance. Worlds will collide, fire will reign, all must choose a side, so begins the Age of Fire. The name Faltara kind of takes me aback here because Faltara is a big important place in the Bound and the Broken series by Ryan Cahill. But yeah, other than that, I think the premise sounds interesting to me, and I certainly look forward to reading this one. And then after Children of Gods, we have Crossroads of Reverence by Andrzej Sapkowski. So yeah, this is the newest novel in the Witcher series. Yeah, the highly popular and highly praised Witcher series. I have read only the collection of short stories in The Witcher, even though I'm a big fan of the video games, but I have a bit of a mixed feeling regarding Sword of Destiny. But I still haven't read any of the main titles, so this one, of course, I haven't read it as well, Crossroads of Ravens. But if you have, do let me know whether this is a great starting point for the Witcher series or not. I know the publisher has pitched this as the first, well, as a prequel to the entire series of The Witcher. And yeah, this is Geralt when he was still Geralt when he was still 18 years old, if I'm not mistaken. It was even before he was the Butcher of Blaviken or the White Wolves. And yeah, looking forward to reading this one as well. And then finally, the last title to spotlight in today's video, this will be for the Infernus Gate by Anthony Ryan. This is the 7th and the final book in the Seven Swords series here. This is a series of epic fantasy novellas. I have read only the first book like a few years ago. Well, I don't even remember how many years ago. It was before COVID, if I'm not mistaken. So before 2020. And yeah, time flies. So this is the final book in the entire series with the cover art done by Didier Graffet. I think it is a beautiful cover art. And I enjoyed the first book plenty enough. But back then, the remaining books in the series wasn't even released yet. There wasn't even a second book. Originally, the first book in the series, I thought it was going to be only a one book novella, that's it. I did not expect it would become a 7-book series. But yeah, the last book is going to be released at the end of this month. So if you are waiting for the completion, well, I think it is the right time to start reading the series. It has been a long time since I read anything by Anthony Ryan. I think the last time it was for The Pariah. I really need to get back to reading more of his books as well. I enjoyed a lot of his books, and especially Bloodsong, one of my favorite books of all time. So yeah, that's the top 8 noteworthy SFF release of the month of September. Do let me know what you think about the books that I spotlighted in today's video. And of course, if you have read any of these titles, let me know what you think about it and which one of this do you enjoyed the most. As always, thank you so much for watching and thank you for your support. Bye bye. Lastly, I want to say thank you so much once again to all my patrons who keep on supporting me.